Damn, Saeed, you are one bad Hey everybody, welcome to Lou on Lost. This is episode 6, Sundown. You guys believe that there's been 6 episodes already? There's only 10 more left until the season ends. The whole thing ends. But enough crying. Let's get to the show. So we start off in the 2004 timeline. Saeed's in a cab, gets out of the cab, rings the doorbell, and approaches his one and only love, Nadia. And how awesome, they have kids! Wait a second. Did I just hear one of them call him Uncle? Why they call him Uncle? Saeed's brother? Oh, Nadia, why, you whore? What the hell happened between those two? We'll get back to that in a little bit. But let's go to the 2007 timeline where Saeed breaks in the door to talk to Dogan. Saeed is pissed and I can't really blame him. Nobody's talking to him, nobody's telling him what's going on, nobody's telling him why he was trying to be poisoned. I want some answers too. So because there is so much bad blood between Saeed and Dogan these last couple of episodes, including mainly this episode, I decided to do a tally mark. Saeed versus Dogan. Who will be the victor? So to start off this whole tally mark thing, I've decided to give both of them a point. One to Saeed for coming back alive, and one to Dogan for torturing the crap out of Saeed. So now we're even at 1-1. Oh man, they're fighting. Yeah, that's right, Saeed. Mess him up, Saeed. Yeah. Dogan. Oh man, you just got hit in the head with that thing. Oh no, you're gonna die. He's gonna stab you. Damn, did the baseball actually just save Saeed's life? Oof, that's a point for Dogan. Dogan tells Saeed to get out, and as he's about to leave, Claire walks in and says to Dogan that he wants to speak with him. Dogan, knowing that if he goes outside the temple he will die, decides to send Saeed to talk to the fake John Locke. So they throw Claire into a pit and Dogan and Saeed go into another room. Dogan lets Saeed know that he has to do a job for him. He gives him this badass looking like sword and said that Jacob has died. And because Jacob has died, this guy is now free. And he has to kill him in order to stop him from killing everybody else. He told him that he'll be in disguise as somebody that Saeed knows that has died. Saeed looks at him and decides to take the job. Saeed's in the jungle and all of a sudden he starts hearing this lightning and thunder and all of a sudden it's John Locke appears. Hello, Saeed. Bam! Oh. Gotta admit, John Locke taking a knife out of his chest is pretty awesome. Fake Locke wants Saeed to go and tell them a message saying that by sundown, everyone who does not follow John Locke will die. By the way, when Locke said to Saeed if he could have anything he wanted in the world, and then Saeed said that the only thing that he ever wanted died in his arms, did anybody else think of Shannon when he said that, or was I the only one? So back in 2004 timeline, Saeed is talking with his brother because his brother knows that Saeed was a torturer back in the war in Iraq. So what happens is that he asks him to do him a favor. Saeed's brother, Omar, is in trouble with some money, and he wants Saeed to go and have them stop harassing Omar. Saeed refuses because he says that he's not that type of person anymore. And I'm very happy to see that this Saeed is actually kind of a heartwarming, good person. I mean, he is in the other timeline too, but here he really shows it. Omar winds up getting mugged and having to go to the hospital. Saeed, in an anger of rage, decides to storm out, but Nadia convinces him not to do anything and just to go back to the house and take care of the kids. The next day, when Saeed's outside, a guy in a truck comes in and says for him to get into the car. They get into a car, they have him go somewhere, they seat him down, and all of a sudden, who do we see? That's right, Kimi. Best line of the whole episode. I make good eggs. If you guys don't remember who Kimi is, he was like the main leader of the army when they all came to the island. He's the one who killed Ben Linus' daughter, Alex. He's the one who killed a lot of other people on the island. And he's the one who eventually died to Ben Linus getting stabbed in the throat and having the heart monitor thing go off to blow up Jin's ship when we all thought Jin was dead in Season 4. So Kimi lets Saeed know that his brother owes him money. Saeed says, well, my brother already told me that he paid you already. And Kimi's like, no, somebody has to pay me. Saeed winds up doing some nice ninja move, gets the 2 guys shot, and then Kimi's just standing there while Saeed's holding a gun to him. And he's like, alright, listen, your brother doesn't owe me anything anymore. And, are we good? And then Saeed says, no, we're not good. And shoots Kimi and winds up killing Kimi. I like Kimi too, so it's a shame to see him only in the show for an extra 30 seconds. So all of a sudden, Saeed hears something in the background, and he gets like a yelling or moaning of something. He goes to go toward the door, and as soon as he was going toward the door, I said, oh my god, what Lost character is going to be? What character are we going to see next? And it's just Jin, and he's tied up. And now this leads me to believe that that's the reason why Jin went there in the first place, to give him all that money. But then when the money got taken away, they tied up Jin and were going to hold him hostage until they got their money. So back in the 2007 timeline, we know that earlier Kate came in contact with Saeed. When Kate got back to the temple, she talked to Miles, and Miles was like, "Oh yeah, that blonde hot chick was here." And he's like, "Oh, where is she?" She's in, and then Miles says, "Oh, she's in the back." So Kate goes to talk to Claire, and then when she sees her, she lets her know that she was the one who actually was taking care of Aaron this whole time. Claire's just like kind of staring at her the whole time and like thinking like, what does she do that for? But if I'm Claire right now, shouldn't I be thinking like, wait a second, the fake John Locke and my dad like faked me out. They lied to me saying that Aaron was here. So what's going on right now? But I think because Claire is so-called infected, I don't think she has the process of really thinking like that. So I forgot to mention earlier about the whole tally point system. I forgot to give 1 point to Dogen for tricking Saeed into going, and 1 point to Saeed for actually surviving the whole John Locke experience. So now the score is 3-2 Dogen, and Saeed is now about to go into the temple to talk to Dogen about the whole giving him the knife to try to kill the fake Locke thing. Wonder what's going to happen. So Saeed enters the temple to where the pool where Saeed died the first time, and he sees Dogen sitting there with the baseball. Dogen goes on to explain that his son plays baseball every Friday, and on a specific occasion he went out with his co-workers, he got a little drunk, and he wound up getting into a really bad accident with his son and him in the car. Obviously Dogen survived, but his son wasn't doing too well. And then he said that a man named Jacob approached him and said, "Listen, I can save your son's life, but you're going to have a new job and come with me to this island, and you'll never see your son again." I guess Dogen in a panic said, "I don't want my son to die," and of course took the job. I mean, maybe it was Jacob that actually said that, but I really don't see Jacob saying that to him. I really don't. Dogen asks Saeed, so what is he going to do? Because it's sundown and it's time to decide. Saeed says, "I would like to stay," and then takes Dogen and throws him to the pool and drowns him and kills Dogen. And then also, his assistant comes, says, "What did you do? That was our only way to protect the fake John Locke from coming in here," and winds up slicing his throat too. Alright, let's finish up the tallying. Alright, and we have a winner. And yes, I think Saeed wins. I wonder why the guy said that Dogen was really important, and that now because Dogen's dead, the fake John Locke can come into the temple. What makes Dogen so important though? I thought those ashes or dust or whatever that protected everybody from getting hit from the smoke monster was the reason why. What makes Dogen so significant? So one of the last scenes of the episode shows the smoke monster actually turning into his form, going into the temple, killing everybody except a select few. We wind up seeing that Lapidus and Ben and Sun, they wind up entering the temple also. Someone wants to know where Jin is, and Miles is like, "Oh, I just saw him, I think he's still alive somewhere." So then what happens is that they wind up going to the secret passage of where Hurley and Jack went. Smoke monster destroys everything. And then, I don't know if you guys noticed, but did you guys see the look on Saeed and Claire when they were leaving the temple? They had a look of like they were zombies now, as if they were in a trance. I mean, Claire, like we found out that Kate told Claire that she was the one raising Aaron, and she wasn't even fazed by that. So something with the smoke monster entering the temple, maybe now they have official control over who is infected. Because I still think that Saeed and Claire, and even Rousseau, when she was on the island, are infected. So now Saeed has officially joined Fake Locke's, crew, whatever you want to call it. So now he has Sawyer, Saeed, and Claire. We saw Kate also with them, but we're not sure if Kate's actually with them right now. So we'll just leave with those three. We didn't see Jacob this episode, and we also know that only Jacob really has Hurley. Now, questions that I was left with after this episode is, where's Sawyer? We haven't seen him in a really long time. Where's Fake Locke taking all these people who actually decided to join him? I mean, my theory on that is that he's just going to take them somewhere, kill them, and just to prove a point. Like, well, you guys followed Jacob, so I'm going to kill you now. Plus, the only people I see him not killing are people with candidates. Maybe that means he'll kill Kate? Next week's episode is called Dr. Linus. From the promo, it looks like Ben is going to die, and if he dies, I'll be really upset. Ben's one of my favorite characters, but it looks like a great, great episode. I know maybe a lot of you have been feeling that these last episodes haven't been too good, but maybe a little slow, but it's going to add up. It's going to have to. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. Subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. By the way, really fast, check the sidebar for a video that I found like a really long time ago. Thought maybe you guys might like it.